Welcome everyone to our live stream here, Friday, Frightful Friday. Halloween week stream series continues with the tarantula. We have a guinea pig containment breach in my house. Guinea pig has escaped. What's up, Astrobate? What is up? Emergency containment procedures in place. So, what is up? We've got Blitz challenges 5+3. The usual customers are not here. We're taking 5+3 casual challenges from established accounts. No new accounts with narrated games, please. I'm taking challenges 5+3 casual only. What's up, Astrobay? Good to see you. I did a crazy thing today. I don't know if anyone noticed it, but I started streaming at 10:30. It's usually 11 a.m. CST when I start, and I had some kind of weird mental glitch where I convinced myself that I started at 10:30. It was really weird. I mean, I had premeditated, started thinking that I stream at 10:30. From the moment I woke up this morning. I don't know if that's early onset or what, but I really believe that I start my streams at 10:30. And I was ready at 10:30, and I started streaming and nobody was here. I was like, that's weird. Something's up. And someone came on and said, don't you usually start at 11? I said, yeah. Uh-oh. Is the baby playing today, Morales? Morales shows up and he's been practicing all morning or something. He rarely comes to stream anymore. VIP Morales. How many games do we have? The score is 277 to 111. That's not bad. That's 388 games. He might give me some advice. I'm under the impression that you must play 50 warm-up games before you play me on my stream now, because the last couple times have been brutal. Alright, we gotta be mentally prepared for this. Weather alert in Sicily. We had weather alert back where I was living in Massachusetts. Had a terrible storm. I'm like, yes, destroy my old house. I don't care. Whatever. Monsoon wedding style. Morales, alright. So we've got Morales. He's got white, of course. I refuse to play the closed Sicilian, or at least not the normal form. I'm not going to give him the pleasure of that. Alright, I know what I'm going to do. Dude, what are you doing? Weird Wednesday, it's not. It's E4 day. You're supposed to play E4. How many warm-up games did you play today? Morales, you're hesitating on the 400th game award. I mean, you were at 388 and then you don't come anymore. 12 games before 400. 2 games. Possible. Symmetrical English, Hedgehog. We're at game 389. This is game 389. Warm-up games? Oh. Game 389 now, D3. So again, that's interesting. Against that, I wonder, is D5 a move? Interesting. Probably. You can play D5, take with the knight, allow E4. But I think I will stick with my... I'll stick with my normal guns here. Hedgehog. The hedgehog not always great here. E6 and D5 feels right. But I have this fianchetto on the queen side. I'll go back to G8 if you attack me. This is a weird position. Normally I wouldn't play e6 there, but I feel like Morales is up to something. Like, he never plays like this with white. Somehow he's like 20 seconds ahead on the clock already. Where did my time go? Well, at least you got control of e5. You love control of e5, so you might as well just play knight f3 on move 1. It's actually completely logical. That's his favorite square. And, you know, just get control of e5 on the first move. I mean, it makes complete sense. Actually, you should play d4. That also controls e5. It's ironic that his favorite move, you know, e4, doesn't actually control his favorite square, which is e5. It's a weird, it's a weird game today, man. What are we doing here? Very strange hedgehog. He's trying to stop me from playing d5, presumably. Let's see. Sound effects. Gratis. Give the hedgehog a tempo down. This poker dealer, friend of mine, she's always making like sound effects. Like, what are you're making sound effects while you're dealing the cards? You're a freak. Yeah, there it is. E5, look out. Why don't you just go? Why ask why? Because this way I can destroy his central pawn. Welcome to the world of hypermodernism. Because I wanted to play d5, Holmes. You know. Originally I wanted to play d5. That's why I didn't play d6. I'm threatening to play d5, but he played bishop g5, which is a bad move. But somehow I got sucked into the twilight zone. What is this? You had knight b5 there. It looks like a good move, actually. It's entirely possible I have g5. Two over your head. Well, I mean, you've heard of the Alekhine defense? Perhaps g5. No, not anymore. Water is entering your house. Alright. That game is canceled. GM Sean and Chess Falcon. GM Sean and Chess Falcon. GM Sean is not a subscriber, but that's okay. It's Friday. Best of luck, Antonio. I think that's a good reason to abort the game. Good luck with the water. Where did I see about flooding recently? No, in New England. There was a bomb cyclone in the Pacific side of the United States. Then it went across the country, apparently. Hit the East Coast. Glad I sold my house. Well, I'm not glad, because like real estate prices have doubled. Is it inflation, or just, you know, are things really worth double what they were like 2 years ago? Seems a little over the top to me, the real estate market. All right. Not everywhere, but in the United States, anyway, a lot of places seems like it's nearly doubled. Crazy. I'm not paying double for a house, that's for sure. C4, E6. Make sure your house is waterproof. Flood insurance. That's a bad sign. If Antonio's in Italy and they're getting flooded, well, land is probably a good investment. But everything's overpriced now. I mean, it seems like. Depends on where you are. Yeah. Yeah, I was originally going to buy something, but then the craziness happened, and now I'm priced out. Priced out of the real estate market in the United States. Hungary's gone up. It's gone up everywhere, but not as bad as the U.S. U.S. is crazy. People are like, well, I think the problem is that like big corporations buy up a lot of properties and stuff. Then they like rent them as Airbnbs and make a lot of money off of it. They're not necessarily end users buying all these houses. They're if it was just end users buying houses, prices would probably be more reasonable. Right. So that's part of it. The construction materials going up everywhere for new housing. Just causing the entire housing market to go up. One of many driving forces. Anyway, it's a bad time to buy something. It's a good time to sell. I always am like at the wrong time. Like, if I buy something, there's a market crash. If I sell something, the market goes crazy. I do the opposite of whatever I'm supposed to do. Not like I had any control over it, but my timing is always like the worst possible if I make a major purchase or sale of something in my life. I always choose the worst possible moment to do it. GM Sean, I feel like I've played this with someone before here. What about like C6 or Bishop C8? Should we recirculate? The moment of truth. C6, Bishop C8. This is Blitz. Little Halloween sound effects for you guys. E4. That could be controversial. Even E4 is an interesting idea. I don't like it. I don't know. Somebody donate some bits to the stream. I'm freaking out. It's like houses are doubling in price, but I have no bit donations the whole week. All the money from bits has gone to investing in real estate, apparently. I don't know. But thank you guys for kindly being subscribers to the stream. Those of you that are. Asterbate, thanks for being a subscriber. And current Hype Train conductor. Hype Train on Sunday, man. We've got to do the Hype Train on Sunday because I'm going all the way to Debrecen in the car in the morning, playing 5 hours, coming back, and doing a simul for everybody. Let's do a hype train. Support your dedicated chess streamer who is going to suffer a very long day. Come back and do a simul anyway. So this is what I expected. And then I don't have knight h5. White's white square bishop is bad now. I was thinking knight g4. Knight g4 is an interesting idea. Knight g4, he attacks my knight. It goes back to h6. And then he plays like knight b3. Knight b3, bishop b3. If I do nothing, what happens? My concern is that eventually white could try something on the king side, but I mean f4 is an anti-positional break. If he does g3, he weakens his king side. It's an interesting position. You know, I don't know. I don't know that white is worse necessarily. And I'm not really sure what black's plan should be. g6, knight h5 weakens my dark squares. It still might be a reasonable plan, though. You know. Bishop d7 is kind of a cop-out. Rook e1, a very deep positional move, I would say. That's like probably #1 move from my perspective. But GM Sean is the player who plays the opening like a master, and the rest of the game he's like normal. His opening play is like 400 points stronger than the rest of the game. Even though he's lost 11-0, he seems like he plays the opening well, on a good level. That could mean several different things. You know, he spends too much time studying openings, not the rest of the game. On the chessboard lies hypocrisy. Now, so that sounds like a familiar quote. Knight e3 is covered by rook e1, so that's one thing. It triples. It's not about the e pawn. There's a couple other points. One of them is the fact that he does control e3 there. That's beneficial. I mean, that's deep positional play for someone who's supposed to be rated 1661 in Blitz. Next thing he's going to be maneuvering his rook a2 across like Sammy Reshevsky. He can't really do that though because the bishop coming back here would allow like bishop a4. It's a very complex position strategically. I mean, white's play. On a high level, strategically. You could say, oh, well, he has double pawns, they're bad. Another very interesting move, bishop e3. f5. I'm going to try this anyway. Be afraid. Now, his play seems too good for his ratings. Even though he's lost the games, he seems to blunder in like good positions all the time. He always gets a good position. Every single game. Out of the opening. His plan now was to like trap my queen with queen e2, bishop g5. Pawn takes is interesting. This is actually a pawn sacrifice by me. I'm not really sure I have enough compensation. White's play is virtually perfect. Master level. play by white, both tactically and strategically, even though he's 1661. Now he'll just like blunder a queen or something in a good position. That's what happens every single game. I've had other players very similar sort of stuff going on. But I can't say that's really normal for his rating level. It's very strange. Whoa. Alright. I'm fighting for a draw against the 1600. That seems normal. It's every single time I play this player. I mean, I don't know what your deal is, but the first part of the game you don't play like your 1600. It's like a different player or someone else is playing for you. I don't understand. You're not 1661. Like, what is going on here? I don't really like that, you know, when people are playing like 400 points stronger than their real rating. There's no freaking way you could be 1600 and play like this. I mean, play an average 1600 in the hourly Blitz arena or something and see what you get. There's just no way. He's played like 2200 level, and I'm barely better. I mean, it's not like it's an accident that white is hanging in here. He didn't just get lucky. He's played a really good game. Now, on time pressure, he starts to melt down slightly. Still not clear. All of his stuff is defended. I have a better structure. Yeah, I mean, you can't tell me this guy is a 1600. I mean, it's absurd. And look how fast he is when he needs to be. Like, what are we playing at here? It's very strange, man. I mean, this player, there's no freaking way you're 1600. I don't know what your deal is. Maybe it's tons of ultra bullet. It's sad, you know, but there's no freaking way you can be 1600 and play like that. That's Morales' game. That doesn't count. After a lengthy analysis, you determined that Karpov is a chess genius. You've got your Karoy game, your Karoy book. After 27 moves against an IM, GM Sean 1600 is like clearly better at move 29. I mean, dude, there's no way a 1600 bullet player can play that well on a regular basis, and it's every game I play with him. He just like melts down in the time pressure. There's something not right about his ratings, but but whatever. All right. Hey, it's Miro. How could you possibly be 1600 in Blitz? How could you possibly be that rating and play like that? There's just literally no way. Hey, it's Miro. What's up? Who are you trying to fool there? Hey, it's Miro has taken the Karpov school to heart. All right. Just playing some chess. All right, let's play e4, e5. I'm playing a lot of e4, e5, and e4 with white. I'm working on my classical game. Last week I lost in the Hungarian or the Budapest Team Championship in a Marshall with white. I had a great position. My first e4 game in some time over the board. I'm really trying to play more e4 and e5. So, oh my god, is this another Goring Gambit? Frightful Friday, Goring Gambit. What, we had this last time? Did I play d5 against you? Dude, don't tell me that Wesley so recommends the Goring Gambit. You're not even gonna go there. I didn't think so. This is like your original style. Last night I was playing some offhand games and trying all kinds of crazy gambits like the Danish against noobs. It's fun. It's fun. Someone on Sound, one of our regular VIPs here, I get it, you know. It's fun to play gambits. It's fun to like kill noobs with gambit style play. But I've been a tournament player for over 30 years, you know. And the bottom line is that gambit stuff, it's fun to kill like newbies, but let's see, where are we here? Yeah, I had a game with pawn takes pawn yesterday. But is that a main line? Take d5. This is different though. Yeah, my knight's not supposed to be in c6 in those Danish lines. I'm a little scared here. I don't know what to do. All right. No, but I mean, honestly, Chess Falcon, you work your way up the rating ladder like me over, you know, the course of years and years. I don't think that the gambit style really flies. It's fun for online chess, you know. I never would have been I don't know. It would have. I don't know. I just think it's like based on playing weak players for the most part. That's why someone on Sound is not a master. He's a rabbit basher. He's used to bashing rabbits with gambits, you know. I think that it holds you back. People like Hikaru do yeah, but I mean, Hikaru was number 2 in the world, and he didn't do it playing unsound gambits, you know. Hikaru is now a chess streamer, but he was a real chess player at one point. And he was playing the Queen's Gambit Declined in the Caro-Kann when last I saw. So, whatever. So what is this? What is this? Yeah, I don't like this. I don't really like this particular choice of mine. There's like the real Hikaru and the new Hikaru, who's a chess streamer. The original Hikaru was a real chess player playing real openings and stuff. Now it's about content, but that's a different person as far as I'm concerned. D5. Pawn takes f6, pawn takes c4. Can I do that? Yeah. Well, it's whatever you want to do. If you want to have fun, then have fun. My whole focus has always been on being a tournament player. That should be like the, you know, disclaimer on my stream title. This stream is kind of geared toward tournament players from the perspective of a lifetime tournament player. I'm not a coffee house. style player, you know, although I can pretend to be one at times. That's my perspective. You got to understand. I'm a very hardened tournament veteran. Maybe I ought to just castle. Screw this. Yeah, I don't know. Hardened tournament veteran. A lot of people watch me stream, they're like, oh, why are you so serious? Well, you know, how do you think I got to like peak rating of 2470 or whatever FIDE at one point? Only by being very serious about the game. I'm not that talented. I'm not a genius. And I think that, you know, average people can achieve what I achieved if they work hard and they're at least fairly talented. I mean, I'm not an idiot or anything, but I don't think I would be a genius either. I've never had my IQ tested since I was like 5 years old, probably. But I'm assuming I'm not a genius. But the thing is, my perspective is like very serious toward the game. But I have to like stop and say, okay, some people just want to enjoy chess for fun, and that's something I have to remind myself. Remember those people who just want to have fun. You don't think talent exists. Well, I mean, you know, it's kind of like luck. There's another word that a lot of people don't think exists. But I think the question is not if it exists, it's like, what is it we're talking about? It's about defining what it means. What is talent? What is luck? You know, these things are a question of definition, I think, more than anything. Wow. I'm trying to drop a piece here. Dude, why are you so goddamn fast? Why is he so fast? Driving me crazy. I never checked, like, Miro's bullet rating. He doesn't seem to have one. He's fast, though. He has a very fast pace. He never spends too much time on one move. Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? I'm ironic. Like, I think that I'm very lazy in some respects. I'm kind of funny example. In a way, I'm not a grandmaster because I'm lazy. In another way, I am because I worked hard. Does that make any sense? I don't know. I was very dedicated, but I don't think I'm a hard worker. Is that possible? I like to play chess, but I didn't study enough. Partly that's my problem. Probably not enough, you know, work in a chess laboratory. I like playing live tournaments, but I didn't study as much as I should, probably. Which is part of the hard work. I've always been, like, behind the learning curve on opening theory. I think my openings are weak for a player of my rating. I always like playing more than studying, which is like most people. Damn, dude, Hazer is amazing. He's just an amazing dude. He's got 2 minutes to my 18 seconds, and I've been chatting, but that's not really my excuse here. Maybe he is a genius and I'm not. That's the only explanation I can come up with. Hazer is actually a genius. I'm just a cheap imitation. I'm just a hard worker with a lot of practice. Dude, it took me 5 minutes to get this position. Rook c8 drops a pawn to bishop f7. That's the problem. That was my whole plan, man. And then I was like, oh crap, it just like drops a pawn. Great. Yeah, I mean, I sadly realized just too late that the whole thing doesn't work. You took a sport too seriously. I feel that. That's understandable. I did too. That's why I'm international chess master. I could have been, I don't know, something else. What am I doing? Am I dropping a pawn here too? Yes. Didn't you have bishop f7? Jesus. Killing me, dude. This guy comes to play. Not only great play, but fast too. Look at the score. How do you have just 1 point against me in our last 20 games? And this is not an outlier. Again, like Sean, the last opponent. He's lost all his games, but every game was close. It's pretty crazy. I mean, Hayes Miro has a tendency to melt down in time pressure. This is a draw? Well, yeah, probably. But I might be worse. He's on the 7th on my f7 pawn. Are you sure it's a draw? Why am I not worse here? Maybe I can hold. Well, all my pawns are on the wrong color, which is always good. Just kidding. Got every pawn in the wrong color, just for good measure. I can't free myself. We've had no draws in the last 20 games, note. He's 81.5, 13.5, and he's got an advantage here. But I guarantee you, like, a lot of these games I was lost in toward the end of this list. A bunch of the games here in the last 20 were lost positions. I'm better when we're under like 10 seconds. Wow. Oof. Nice play there. King e4. He missed it. Stupid move. Holy God. I just hung my pawn. I was losing on a one-move blunder with bishop takes b5, but I might be lost anyway, frankly. This might be lost. I mean, you got f5 lever here. Better king. All my pawns are on the wrong color. I mean, this looks like it could easily just be lost. I had to play f5, and now my g6 pawn is weak. So if he gets in here, I might be lost. But let's, aside from the fact that I just like dropped my b5 pawn like an idiot for one move, am I lost strategically? And if I don't play f5, what should I do? The engine says it's a draw. But it wasn't a draw before. Okay, here I just hung the pawn. But forget about that. Let's assume I'm not an idiot. And I just don't drop my pawn for free here. Yeah, this is ridiculous. I should play king e7, you go back, I go back, and then... It looks like I was never lost till I hung the b5 pawn. What was this? And then at the end, when I hung the b5 pawn. What's this position? So you're actually winning here. Pre-bishop exchange, or pre-rook exchange. Rook exchange, bishop exchange, king e6. It may be still a draw. It's a very interesting endgame, but the computer thinks you're winning without the rook exchange. King e3. Yeah, I mean, this is really bad. What the hell happened in the opening? William Lombardi versus Leboyevich. This is a terrible move, honestly. I can't believe you played that. Pawn takes d6. And you had nothing, and then I let my guard down. I'm like up a pawn here. I totally let my guard down. Then you played better. I got a rated challenge? No. No rated. 5+3 casual. You can see why I don't want to play rated. Mr. Tickle. Paul Chuckle could be Mr. Tickle. I don't know. It seems similar. Paul Chuckle, Mr. Tickle. Alright, Berenzen. Long time no see. Yeah, I mean, how did I get into that position? You played the middle of the game really well. Like after the opening and after that terrible move, pawn takes d6, you started to just play great. That whole period in the middle where you outplayed me, I had a good position. But your time advantage starts to pay off there. So knight c3. Hey, what's up? WVIP, water's filtering down the basement. WVIP. Morales, well, take care of what's important. Don't worry about the chess stream. I don't want you floating away. Yeah, we'll give you another chance. I had this line against Asterbait. Bishop d7, right? No, I blundered. Oh, no. Alright, whatever. I blundered. I was supposed to play knight takes c3. I don't want to take back unless you want to take back. Because some people might want to, like... I'm offering a take back if he's interested in playing the theoretical position, you know, and I don't demand a take back or even expect one. I'm happy with not doing a take back, but maybe he's interested in playing this position correctly. I'm supposed to play knight takes c3. You know, Asterbait also played this against me. So the main line is d takes. Yeah, I mean, you might want to play the position for the theoretical aspect of it, so that's why I'm offering a take back. B takes C. Yeah, this is what Acer did. So queen check, right? Not as many games with B takes C. You know, the computer says queen f3 is white's #1 move. And that wasn't really known until Stockfish started dictating people's openings and stuff. The engine does say that DC is better, and theory says that DC is better, but it's close. But basically, the computer says that if white doesn't play queen f3, he's slightly worse. Like, this is the only move that isn't worse for white, which is interesting. And some people have played queen f2 there. Yeah, that Acerbate's not down with that. Acerbate played king f1, I think, and it was a disaster. But queen f2 seems like the right move. I think Uncle Yermo has a game I saw. But maybe that was with DC, actually. So I'm not sure anymore. Uncle Yermo. Uncle Murio. Yeah, what is this, anyway? You did not see TwitchBot? Not TwitchBot. It's Moobot. Was it Moobot? It was Moobot, not TwitchBot. What's a TwitchBot? Okay, knight e5, rook e1. Bishop takes b5, rook takes e5 check. That looks creepy. That seems creepy. I don't like that. Knight e5, rook e1. But hold on a second. f6, knight e5. Yeah, I don't like that either. Alright, so I can't really do knight e5. Which sucks. So raises some interesting questions here. Check. d4. So I guess I'll just play this. I mean, it looks kind of lame, but what else am I going to do, you know? Now I guess I'm threatening knight e5. First time chat from Orion Alt 1. I'm taking Blitz challenges. I try to talk as much as I can so I get down to my increments and lose on time. I'm actually not this slow when I play one-on-one. But I love chatting and answering questions in the stream and stuff. And I'm kind of a time pressure addict. Yeah, don't worry about Moobot. Wow, Tranquilizer rating with a party of 35. Tranquilizer, what are you doing, dude? Tranquilizer, what are you doing up in the morning? Did you stream all night? Is this an all-nighter? GM Tranquilizer, the real GM Tranquilizer in the house. Did you pull an all-nighter? You don't do mornings normally. He doesn't look like a morning person, does he? What's up, man? Thank you for the raid. It was it was a morning stream, dude. Very rare Tranquilizer morning stream. Thank you, man. Good to see you. Grandmaster Vital Vente, an old friend of ours. He's been streaming more lately. What about OTB chess, dude? What's happening in the world of OTB chess for you? Thanks, Tranquilizer. Thanks everybody from the Tranquilizers joining our stream. Rook e1 looks like a good move. My plan was to play what here? Knight e5. Very dangerous. Can I do it? Knight e5? Looks like asking for trouble, man. Knight e5, rook e5, bishop takes b5, rook takes d5, bishop takes b5, bishop a3. Ooh, c5. It's a very dangerous pawn to grab. Needless to say. I can play knight e8 or d8. Knight d8 blockading. This is exceedingly passive. See, I've noticed this one thing. When I play and I play against good players, I have this tendency to go into like a defensive sort of huddle. I did this against Erdos Victor the last time I played him. I like just like my natural instinct when I start to feel pressure is to kind of do like a to go into a ball like a hedgehog, you know. And against Erdos, I like retreated all my pieces back to the back rank and got this like super passive position. That's not really a good thing, you know. It's not really a good thing to innately trend toward passive defense. You can get away with it against weaker players, but against Erdos, it just got me into this desperate problem. I feel like my default setting is like passive defense or something when I don't know what to do. I mean, he would be up a pawn. Knight e5, bishop d7, knight d7. Yeah, it's too dangerous. You get a strong horse in this line. But he's got the Morales. The Morales square. So what do you do, you know? My strong horse. Horse is a horse. I don't even know what to do here. Thank you for the raid for Tranquilizer. Oh man, I don't know what to do. We got a strong horse. Is it strong or is it just like solid, you know? It's not exactly an offensive monster. It's a good defender. Let's give it credit for that. This is a good defender. I literally have no threats. Maybe I should play f5, honestly. In all seriousness. In this type of structure, I tend to play for f6. I mean, it's normal. But again, I'm like in really bad time pressure. Good exchange for white. But his rook is in a pretty weird place. It's actually not bad there. Wow. Yeah, f5 is not a joke. You gotta consider f5. I'm gonna do it. Just blockading. Aaron Nimzovich. Point is, he's gonna kill me with the Morales square. If I don't play f5, I either get a bad structure or I get knight e5'd. You know, I could have tried to pull it off. In retrospect, I could have played rook f8 and if takes, rook takes. I probably should have held off on that. I could have held off on this Nimzovichian strategy. Complicated ending. It's difficult to say who's better here. It's pretty dynamic. But I mean, he's incredibly fast too. Every single player I play, he's like 21-36 in bullet. I'm 14-0 against him. He has 21,000 bullet games. Dude, imagine if you had 21,000 blitz games instead of bullet games. That would take significantly longer, but would be better for your chess. What if you had 10,000 blitz games instead of 20,000 bullet games? Jesus. King d3. King d3 solves all your problems. It defends c3, it defends c2. It's good, right? Why not king d3? Harold Bloom, thank you for watching. King d3 solves all of white's problems. Except for the fact that it loses a rook, right? Alright. Isolani. The world of Isolanis. Alpha Zero would agree. Oof. It's coming apart. Now rook d3. He didn't find it. Yeah, no, it was a tough game until the end game, where it all starts to fall apart here. I think that white was okay if he finds, you know, precise moves here. It's 0.3 better for black. It was actually a really good game until that point. I got credit for a good game here, according to the engine. My best game in a long time, actually. In Blitz, 16 CPL with only 3 inaccuracies. You're lucky that I played my best game in a while. Alright, Nakriba, Paul Chuckle, Chess Falcon. He did give me a take back in the opening, to be fair. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to lose my 1-0 virginity on stream here. I haven't played any 1-0 since years ago on another chess site in a galaxy far, far away. We don't do that on principle. Alright, Nakriba. Nakamura. Maybe it's a Nakamura fan. He's Nakripa. I'm playing mostly e4 now lately, but my big love is d4. This is a very bad move, you know. You're not supporting your center. Black has 3 good moves in this position. Defend with e6, defend with c6, or take. Those are your 3 options. Play one of them. The Chigorin is like, you know, almost okay, but this is even worse. Yeah, no more center. Schieberspieler. Rest in peace, center. Well, the center can't rest in peace because it simply doesn't exist anymore. It was dissolved into nothingness. I'm not sure if you are nothingness, if you can continue to exist. At least like people when they die, they still have their bodies. But this center, well, what to say? It's not there anymore. It doesn't leave anything behind. Interesting gambit, though. Alright. I mean, at least that's kind of like... He's trying to be active by sacrificing a pawn. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit skeptical. Okay, this is kind of creative. Mubat's been a little bit funny today. I don't know what's up with Mubat. It's been doing some crazy stuff. I'll have to talk it over with Mr. Coffee on Sunday. We'll have to check into it. Just ignore Mubat if it times you out or something. Don't take it personally. Seems like it's acting a little strange. Yeah, I'm not like feeling this. This doesn't make me happy. I don't like losing the initiative. Looks like black has c5. I mean, c5 is a reasonable gambit here. I mean, I don't encounter this on a regular basis, but I don't know what other options I have. I mean, honestly, what other option is there? You have to take. And now what am I supposed to play? Is there some tricky move? Interesting. Nothing really inspiring, but I don't know how I could play it any better. Really. I don't know how like a super GM could play this any differently for white. But a6 doesn't look right. I don't know what is right. c5. I mean, you have to fight for control of the center. GM Tranquilizer rated, and Cheaper Spieler is here. So everybody's around today. All our old friends. I'm not inspired by my position, to be honest. This seems kind of lame. Okay, I'm up a pawn. It's a powerful central pawn, but I want to develop my pieces actively. I mean, bishop d2 looks kind of weak. Bishop e2 looks kind of weak, honestly. I want to play bishop d3, but then black has c5. Alright, we'll do it. I don't know. It looks like black has active counterplay. c5, castles, something like bishop g4. I could play a3 on c5. c5, a3, bishop takes c3, b takes c. It's like a nimzo. I guess a3 becomes an option. This doesn't seem right. You're moving the same piece twice. It's acerbitis. Actually, acerbate's opponents play like this too. Usually like knight e4. But these moves are suspicious. If it looks suspicious, it probably is. a6 can't be right. Knight d5 can't be right. You're moving the same piece twice. Go back to a6, take it back, and play c5. I mean, this is the only way I think you can go here. It looks like. Now we're just like winning. Black didn't counter my center, and he just didn't develop for 2 moves. Or she. He or she. Mystery Man Alim. We were looking at some similar setup for Acerbate the other day, where his opponent played knight e4 on this pin. And that's why I played queen c2, enforcing control of e4. Now black is lost. The center is the center. But had he played c5 at move 6 or whatever, I'm wondering how much compensation black has. And I don't really know what I could have done better in the early opening. I don't see what else I can do there. You know, what am I supposed to play? This is forced. This is logical. You know, what other move is there? I could do g3 instead of e3, for example. Maybe Schieberspieler would go for g3. But now we're just winning. All right. Winning is winning. Cheapo. Cheapo. Alert. Is this a cheapo or just a strong maneuver? FM Schieberspieler. Classical arena. Classical team battle. Sorry. My weekends are just brutal. I would play, but I just never have any time. Funny how lichess considered 10-0 classical 4 years ago. Oh, when they changed, right. I had games from back then. Now I have a provisional classical rating. Exactly. Whoa, Uber driver. Do you have time for F3? Interesting idea. Now you're talking. Like F6, you suggested in the Slav type positions. Against the London. Uber driver, what's up? Or should I say Sybil? Uber driver, master of bullet chess. What do I do now? Long ride to New Hampshire tonight. Do you mean like last night or? Yeah, Uber driver, if I ever come back and I need an Uber, I'll give you a call. Speaking of driving, I'm going to get my first, hopefully, cross my fingers, I'm going to get my first Hungarian driver's license, like, in 2 weeks. At least, I'm officially applying. So watch out. No, I'm not really planning on driving here, but if I have to, I'll have a license. In case of necessity. You love driving? You love driving through New Hampshire. I've driven to New Hampshire. I went to the office for the driver's license yesterday, and there's like only like 3 out of like 10 of these like cubicles where people are actually working. It was so funny, and like 2 of them are just like talking to each other, and one of them's like playing with pens or something. It was the most typical bureaucratic disaster I ever saw. And when I finally got to the line or whatever, they were like, "Oh, you don't have an appointment?" I was like, "Well, no, but I have all the documents I'm supposed to have." They're like, "Oh, you have to have an appointment." I'm like, "Are you serious?" Like, there's literally, people here just playing with pens. They're like, no, that's the rules. You have to have an appointment. This is like classical Eastern European bureaucracy. They're just sitting there doing nothing, and they can't apply me for my driver's license because, I don't have an appointment or whatever. They're like, "No, you have to make an appointment and come back in 2 weeks." I was just like, this is ridiculous. I mean, okay, we have a lot of bureaucracy in US too, but this was really over the top. The lady's like sitting there playing with these pens and stuff. Like, seriously? I don't see the mate. I must have missed the mate. Asked her mate. Sad. Where is the Aster mate? But we're having fun anyway. Do you guys remember the Taco Bell commercials? Make a run for the border. That's what Black is doing here. Running for the border. Border police. I mean, how many mates did I miss in this game? Probably a lot. Chalupas. Don't touch the chalupa. That was an old joke of ours. Friends of mine. Pawns were chalupas, so I must have missed some mates. I'm sad that we don't have Taco Bell in Hungary. It doesn't make sense because they have Pizza Hut, KFC, and those are in the same family. I never quite understood it. Some executive must have made a decision that Hungary wouldn't support Taco Bell or something. Even though there's 15 Mexican restaurants in Hungary, in Budapest. I mean, Taco Bell would absolutely do as well as KFC. I mean, it's really weird. When was the last time I had Taco Bell? Like when I lived in Boston. At least 15 years ago. Does anyone here hallucinate when you play with board chess? Of course. The best is the hallucination when the pieces come back to life. A piece gets like captured and then you hallucinate that it's still there. And when you like play out the variation, you realize that it's not on the board anymore. I mean, all the same hallucinations are possible in over the board chess that you would have in online chess, I think. There used to be a Taco Bell at BU, of course, and that was where I probably told you I lived in Warren Towers one year. Yep, we probably had this discussion on the stream before. We're both getting dementia. Right. Used to be a Pizza Hut. I always pretend that the Talking Heads song, it used to be a parking lot, is about Pizza Hut. Slide you drove a classic Mustang in the US. Ask me, why are you making that up? That's not true. What are you talking about? I wish I had a Mustang. But I've never really been a fan of Mustangs. Or Ford in general. Although, my father was a big car guy, and he never liked Ford. So we never had a Ford. Strictly General Motors. Or Sean Pinto, thanks for watching. That was a lifetime ago. But I guess as far as Ford goes, the Mustang is their best car. Black was okay until this move. But something went seriously wrong here. That's not okay. You can't do that. Can you? I don't think so. The minute that Uberdriver said black is okay, black played e5. Typically, like black plays g6, bishop g7 in these types of setups, not bishop d6. Queen d8, g6, bishop g7. But this is a line. You know, I think that bishop d6 is okay. Frankly, I don't think bishop takes f6 is good, you know. You know? Yeah, black's just lost here. Lost, pawn down for no compensation. 2 pawns. Did I hear 3? That's a good joke. You gotta be careful about picking up drinkers. They might, like, puke in your car. I'm sure Uberdriver has some good experiences with that. If I was an Uber driver, I would try to stay away from the drunk students. But I guess you don't really have a choice. Like, if people call an Uber, you kind of have to take what you get, I guess. There's no Uber in Hungary. Hungary was, I think they had Uber at first here a couple of years ago, but then it got banned. Things are going to be interesting here. There's a big election coming up next year. And early polls favor the opposition party, or opposition coalition. So things are going to be interesting. As you understand it, Uber drivers work for themselves. They can refuse a ride. Yeah, that's a tough call, man. Alright. I was just thinking about what would happen if the Hungarian government changed. Would a more liberal government allow Uber? The taxi drivers here were definitely not excited about it. I know that it's been an issue in a lot of places. Alright, we've got 5+2 rated. No. Geofence. Sounds like something to keep your dog in the yard. Geofencing. Jamo Gomez Garcia. What are those fences that keep your dog in the yard? Is that a geofence? Does Miro have a geofence? I'm gonna try a modern. So I have the Uber app on my phone, and it's just funny. Like sometimes I hit it by accident, and I look at it, and I'm like, oh, there's no Ubers. It's weird. You just have this like app with an empty map, no little Ubers moving around here in Budapest. This is a sharp move, Bishop G5. When my friends came to visit this summer, he was like, oh, we'll just call an Uber. I was like, no, you won't. No, you won't. I guess a lot of countries have probably prohibited it, ride-sharing companies. Not just Hungary, but others. Do they have Uber in the UK? I know that was an issue in London originally, right? There was a lot of resistance to it. Was it re-allowed? Queen D2, a geofence. Dog field. It's a dog force field. I'm not sure if they have it in London or not. J. Gomez Garcia, he's an opening guy. Actually, 2100 in Rapid is really high rating. My modern defense is a little bit out of I'm a little behind the theoretical curve here on modern defense. I rarely play it. I think I understand general ideas. We were talking about this with Arsenal fan, one of our regular followers, yesterday in our analysis stream regarding the Pirtz defense. He played knight f6, or rather, played the Pirtz and played bishop g7 when he should delay bishop g7. And here we're delaying knight f6 in favor of c6 and b5. Knight d7 looks right, at least plausible. Plausible. Where are you castling? You're going to castle short. Well, that's a different story. If you're going to castle short, then I'm going to change my game plan. Miro the dog. I got a challenge from Orion. No games. Yeah, I can't take these new accounts. I'm not going to accept challenges from new accounts with no games. Instead of queen d2, maybe bishop c4. Haha, yeah. Well, I'm not going to fall for the Aliekin Uva type of trick, man. You know, with knight takes b5, bishop d5. That's like a Danny Kopeck style attack. He had games with Ivanov a lot. He would drive Alex crazy with these weird bishop c4 things. But I'm not sure like bishop c4 would drive and bishop g5 are setups that you can really combine. They seem like very different. Typically like in the Sicilian, you can't do too many things at the same time. On the other website, the evil website. Oh, that's funny. I hate the evil website, and everyone knows that. I rant about it a lot, but ironically, like, one of my former students who took some time off from lessons, he's like, oh yeah, I want to take lessons again. By the way, I got a full-time job. Guess where you got a full-time job? Alright. But that's not my problem, you know. Work where you want. I don't care if you work at the IRS. Fine with me. I just don't play there. So white is just playing safely. You know, a3, h3, we're castle kingside. This is different now. If you want to play bishop h6, you're not attacking me with a wild onslaught. The onslaught sounds like a death metal band. Wow, Pal Benko said that exactly you can't go bishop c4 and bishop g5. It never works in the Sicilian. I mean, come to think of it, there are some Najdorf lines where it's played. You know, bishop g5, Nesmedinov has some game with Najdorf Sicilian main line, bishop g5. Black plays knight on bd7 instead of e6, right? In that particular line, white goes bishop c4 sometimes, but it's very rare. My friends and I, we would always call it apples and oranges. You can't combine apples with oranges. White has traded the central pawn on e5. I think reducing his central control. Onslaught. Gore metal. In the spirit of Halloween. Listen, everybody, the next stream is Sunday, Simul. Don't hesitate to donate 100 bits or something in honor of Halloween week. Or sub. Or donate a sub. We have Subway here in Budapest, just no Taco Bell, ironically. I think I've only ever eaten at Subway once in Budapest. So now he has a trap with bishop f8, rook takes f6. That's an expression. It's not a chess thing. Comparing apples to oranges. Where did that originate, I wonder? Give me that. Dark square bishop. What's the origin of comparing apples to oranges? Very interesting linguistic. Linguini. Careful now. Giving up the d5 square. You don't mix frogs and grandmothers. I guess it's like princesses, right? That's pretty crazy, dude. I bet Serbia has a lot of cool expressions. Damn. Evil trick. All right, we gotta be cautious here. Bishop e4, bishop takes e4, rook takes f6. Seems a problem. Don't mix your frogs with your grandmother's. Of course. Everybody knows that. I mean, neither of them is very sexy. So, now what do I do? Knight d7. Oh, knight h7. That's not right. Abandoning the center? Wow, check him out with that move. I obstructed my view. Knight f1. I've seen that once today already, it would seem. Unbelievable move. Wow. Really? What am I doing here? Holy God. I'm like paralyzed. He's 1700 in Blitz, of course. Right. Absolutely 1700. Typical 1700. Knight f1, knight e3. Exclamation. Whoa. I have no other plan but Uber Driver's plan. Now. Knight g5 or knight f8. He missed the move. I mean, knight e3 there. He missed his moment to play knight e3 when it was really strong. King f8 was double question mark. King f8 was horrible. It was like the worst thing I could do. It was the worst move ever. I'm gonna lose on time? My God. 1700. 1600 in bullet. I swear every player is the same player. How is that possible? How are all you guys like 1600, 1700 and you're super fast? It's kind of crazy. But actually, White has played a really good positional game, winning control of d5. He's still hanging tough with bishop f3. I think I was in trouble there for a minute. I might be better now. But you see, there was that moment there when I blundered with king f8. King f8 is double question mark. I was better. I didn't see Uber Driver's plan. This was really important. Oh, you know what? When he played knight d2, I played c4. I forgot that I had knight d7 because his rook was controlling d1 to d7, but his knight got in the way. Well, this was a positional game. feels very positional. Knight h4, knight f4, knight h5, knight f4, knight e6. Yeah, I mean, I made a terrible move here. King f8. I can't play bishop f8 because he just snarfs my pawn, or can I? Oh, I could have actually played this too, my god. That's beautiful. The rook's trapped. That's a strong move. Just bishop f8 and his rook's trapped. So where to go? Because here it just falls. I can play like king up. Damn. Laslam, I'm accepting challenges now. We've got another hour. Yeah, I mean, you have to maybe change your style a little bit based on who you're playing. If you don't want draws. I'm not going to accept challenges from people who have like new accounts with no games. Morales is back. No, I think like if you're afraid of draws against lower rated players, you have to adapt your play, you know, differently against strong players. And one thing is that you can play different openings against stronger players and lower rated players like Ivanov. My most prevalent opponent of grandmasters, he would play literally different openings based on your approximate strength. Another thing you can do is just, you know, draws are part of the game, so you have to take them into consideration when you play. Have I played? Yeah. But I haven't played Hikaru. I mean, it was a long time ago. I played Hikaru when he was younger. The last time was in 2003, when he made his final GM norm. I was one of the people he had to beat. I was one of the last games Hikaru had to win to secure the GM title. I was actually fine in that game. I should have held a draw. That was the only time I ever lost to him. I played him like 3 times. The other games were draws. In Blitz, he's beaten me, obviously. Although our last Blitz game was a knocking over the pieces game where he drew me with king against king and queen. Yeah, but I haven't played Hikaru since he got really strong. I was surprised. Like, I didn't think he would be a world-class top 10 player. Not to take anything away from him, but, you know, because he was all Blitz and stuff, I thought that would hold him back, you know, but it didn't. It didn't hold him back. And he worked a lot in this game, to be fair. I didn't like Hikaru when he was a little kid, but he became pretty normal. We haven't seen each other for a long time, but we have a peaceful relationship as far as I know. He did make it to second in the world, which is amazing, considering all the bullet chess he played. Morales, you're killing me with this. You gotta play something else, dude. I'm gonna just like start playing random stuff. I'm not gonna try to follow any preconceived ideas against Morales. We're just gonna invent our own formation here, because nothing I've done has really been successful against this setup. Maybe I just need to tune into my intuition a little bit more and just play for myself. What do you need for the GM title? 2,500 and 3 Grandmaster norms. My maximum rating was probably unofficially around 2470. So I didn't reach the rating requirement, and now I'm 23 something. And I never made a GM norm. The closest I came was like a point short. My best performance in a closed tournament. Now here's the thing, you have to have 26. No, sorry, you have to have 2,500 rating, and you have to have 3 performances where you played in international tournaments, and you performed 2,600. That's what a GM norm is. My best performance ever was probably like low 25s, 2550. I think my best tournament performance ever was around 2550. No, I'm not going to get it soon. Unless, and there's a small chance that I like win the World Senior Championship or something. In a few years, when I'm old enough to qualify for the World Senior Championship, you can get the Grandmaster title by winning the World Senior under 50 plus or 65 plus. When I qualify for the 50 plus World Senior, I could get the title in one tournament. So that's my plan. Hypothetically. I feel like I've been here before, done this. No, I mean, I didn't work hard enough. If I wanted to be a GM, I should have focused on it more 10 years ago. It's a little late, to be thinking about becoming a Grandmaster at this stage. I mean, if I was independently wealthy, I would get it. I guarantee it. If I really didn't have to work, no, then I'd be playing poker all the time. I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't destined to be a Grandmaster. I didn't bear down enough and work hard enough and commit to it, It's the unbelievable. Again, just trust your intuition. Believe in your intuition. That's what we're going to do. Will and could are different things. I'm not planning on going out and trying to become a Grandmaster. It would take a lot of dedication. I just, if I had a stipend of $50,000 a year, I could probably do it. But I don't think anybody's gonna pay me $50,000 a year to focus on becoming a Grandmaster. So if I didn't have to work, I would seriously go for it. So what about Queen H4 here? Rookie 1 check. You gotta you can't let this Morales guy push you around. That's what I think. I think I've let him push me around too much. That's right, be afraid. Morales. Be afraid. Part of my problem is that maybe I'm too peace-loving, or I'm not competitive enough. I don't know. Too many draws. I need to be more... Bokrosh Albert said, my problem is that I play too straightforward chess. I need to try to play for more complications. I'm too correct style wise. I need to be more sharp and take more risks. But I haven't seriously played chess since 2009. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I haven't played seriously since then. Morales, what's up, man? I have compensation for my sacrificed pawn. You would finance my run. You're great, man. Astrobate is the biggest buddy. He's a good guy. A heart of gold. You have a heart of gold. The Morales. Oh no. Deposit rook here. Oof. Oof gun. No. You have that? Stacked pawn. I love the translation. It's a good word, stacked pawns. This is a draw. Wait. Don't worry, it's not a problem. Just for fun. You know, do you have f4 there? f4, g4. Is it possible f4 is a winning move for him? I can't believe it, but it's. I want to look at this king and pawn game when we finish. Draw. Yeah, he accepted a draw. Am I just lost here? And I told him about f4. I'm just lost here. I told him f4 and I allowed it. But honestly, I didn't see how to stop it. Check out his center pawn lost for this game. We'll see. So what am I supposed to play in this position not to lose? What do I play not to lose here? 12 CPL with 2 inaccuracies? Okay. That's like the best game anyone's played on my stream. But if I play f4, he puts his king on... Oh. No, if I play f4, he plays h4. See, the problem is, if I play f4, he plays h4. Now what do I do? If I play g4, takes, and he has the ability to create another pass pawn over here, eventually. So how do I stop his two? I mean, is it possible I'm in time? There is some very complicated. There has to be some very complicated variation where I'm like mating him or something with the two connected pawns. There's no way I could calculate this, in time, with like 10 seconds left. Anyway, like the drawing variation has to be extremely complicated, because if I make a passive move, I'm lost. It's probably that. Let's see. How does black hold a draw here? h4 or f4? Even king f7. That's weird. So king f7 holds a draw. f4, g4? No. King f7 doesn't hold a draw. The engine can't even calculate 16 moves deep. King f7 loses, so I have two moves, h4 or f4. I didn't think h4 worked because he could maneuver his king to h3. I don't understand. King here? I thought he has king h3 and f4 now. What? I do not understand. King f8, king h3, king g7, f4, king g6. Whoa. Takes. King takes, and black is actually better. That's pretty freaking hard to find. I would not know that black was better. Secondly, f4, which is more natural, I assumed h4, but now g4, takes, b3, king f7, and I would assume c4. Wow, black's winning. He can't create a pawn fast enough. I have a5. And his pass pawn doesn't count. Man. I mean, that's just impossible to calculate. I didn't know what to do, so I just made a neutral move and it's losing. I couldn't possibly calculate that stuff. Wow. So I made a bad move here, objectively. Check. I should just move my king. There's no need to go into the king and pawn endgame. And I mean, I'm not worse here after king d7 or king f7. Black is definitely not worse. My rook is pretty active. Maybe king d7, I don't know which way to go. I should not exchange rooks if I can't calculate. The result of the king and pawn endgame. Alright. Sumaher, Laslam, Ripun. We are not taking subscribers first. Whoever's first. Alright, Morales holds the record for today. Centipon loss of 12. Mine was 16. My best game today was 16 CPL. Morales is now on 12 CPL. See if anyone can beat that in the next, let's say, 40 minutes. There's no way, Jern Vlad, that I could calculate that, in time. Maybe there are some players who are so endgame experts that they've seen the pattern before, like John Nunn or Karsten Mueller, someone like that, who's like an endgame expert, that they literally recognize that pattern of the pawns or something. I have to rely on calculation. There would be no way I could be sure about that without at least a minute to think about it. Let's see if anybody can get beyond 12 CPL for the best game of the day. The high hand. Snake Benoni. Astrobate should play the Snake Benoni. That would score interestingly. Sunar played E4. We don't talk about that. What we don't talk about. Don't listen to Ripun. He's constantly getting banned. Or timed out, I should say, not banned. Yeah, I saw his comment. He said something about Nakamura. Why don't we talk about that? I don't have any problem with Nakamura. What's the deal? We've always been friendly. I don't like chess.com, but that doesn't mean I personally have any problem with Hikaru. That's his business. I was just talking about one of my students said he's going to start working at chess.com. Alright. You might as well go and work at the St. Louis Chess Center. Get some of that billionaire money. So bishop d3 looks like a good move. Alright, let's focus on developing. The Snake Benoni, I keep wanting to say Schmid Benoni. Snake Benoni involves several different plans. We have that, and we have that. So this bishop can go like different directions based on what white does. Looks like a very solid, very, very solid choice of setup for white. I don't think bishop a5 makes that much sense here. I'm thinking maybe I bite the bullet and just go back to f8. I know that feels like a waste of time. Well, I do have c4. Does c4 have a point? Not really. I mean, other than giving up control of the d4 square. I mean, bishop c7, castles d6. I'm going to go back to f8. My intuition is that my king needs better protection. It just looks like a weird Benoni. How bad can it be? Queen c7 is... Dude, it works in the Benoni. It's bad in the King's Indian. I mean, in many cases, even in the Benoni, like, you're better off putting it on e7 because it's more active in general. Astrobate always plays queen b6 to try to cheapo, like f-pawn c4 check. Sorry, Astrobate. I don't mean to give away all your secrets. Astrobate's definitely playing queen b6 here. Looks artificial to me. Well, I'm not really sure what I should do. g6. Is there some controversy with Amoeboid? Why? No. Just the last game I went on tilt because I thought he was very suspicious. But I can't prove he's a computer. when I looked at his last game in a vacuum, it doesn't look like he's playing computer moves. But the thing that bothers me about him, Boyd, is that he's played so many games without ever losing in a row that it's at some point, regardless of whether any individual game looks like you're cheating, it's almost like statistically impossible to play 19 games without making a major blunder. That's what bothers me. People who potentially cheat by blunder checking their play, They never make every move that the computer suggests, but they make sure they're never making blunders. And if you don't make a blunder, you're going to have a very, very good score against anybody, including like Magnus Carlsen. So I can't prove that the guy has done anything wrong, but I feel something is unlikely there, But I know you like to stir up controversy, Ripun. So thanks for that. Basically, all you need to do to beat good players is to not blunder. Because good players blunder. You don't need to play every move the engine suggests. Just need to not make major mistakes. And that's good enough. So I get kind of upset when people play, 20 games in a row and only lost like the first one or something like that. Yeah, I don't know, man. This position is good for white. It's Yasser Seirawan. The Yasser Seirawan attack. It's actually an acerbate attack. I mean, if you play in a simul and you don't only lose once out of 20 games, it's conceivable, and it's more conceivable if you're like a national master or something. But it still feels sort of. At some point, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. There's no way. And this has definitely happened with other players before. I haven't had anyone recently, but I started like rage tilting because I couldn't believe it. I lost again. And he never makes blunders. How can you explain that? While playing very quickly, too. I mean, when you play quickly, you're more likely to make a blunder. But he hasn't played perfectly, and there have been some mistakes. But I'm suspicious, I become suspicious. Dude's totally playing for the Aster mate. Yeah, no, I mean, online chess, whatever. I'm not going to stress myself out about it. There are people who cheat. It's not for money, whatever. I'll just live with it. I was tired, and I had a really, really, really rough day last week. So it was easy for me to go on rage tilt. Yeah, but now your b6 rook a7 is becoming more the astrobate maneuver. He's famous for both this and rook a7, rook e7, which is a classic Benoni idea. No, while I joke about, I can joke about myself. I'm more likely to rage tilt if someone calls me sir or mister than old man. Old man is a joke. I can get it. I don't mind. I'm getting old. But cheating bothers me more than, joking insults. I have a sense of humor, I can deal with that. What I can't deal with is people disrespecting the game by cheating. But again, we have to be suspicious of everybody. I wouldn't trust my own mom, I mean, it's like, you can't trust anyone. Alright, stop trying to checkmate me at g6. White has lost control of the dark squares in the position here. Wait, what? Oh no. You didn't just play that. He played b4. That's a classic Benoni blockading strategy. Pretty smart move, actually. Now he's giving up in exchange. I don't even want. I like my bishop too much. I don't want your stupid rook. Oh, his knight's just hanging. How long was his knight hanging for? Damn. Wow. That's unbelievable. What a game. The rook zone. Welcome to the auto zone. It's pretty crazy. Is my rook trapped? Dude, you're a sicko. I don't know if my rook's trapped or his rook's trapped. I'm not really sure. Something is trapped. Yeah, you might want to rethink that. Unbelievable. Mine is faster. Still my turn. I sense there's a mate around here. Alright, wow, what a fighter. That was an instructive Benoni. Very classic Benoni themes. I'm curious about that position though. This wasn't 12 CPL. What am I supposed to do with my bishop here? White has a losing score in this line. Nobody knows how to play, so check it out. Yeah. A6, okay. My friend Alex Manea, I had seen him play it before. So this position, 6 bishop c7s, 1 bishop e5, and 1 bishop f8. Where do you choose to put your bishop in this position? I just don't see the future over there. You know, like in this particular setup with the knight on e2, I'm skeptical. The engine says c4. I looked at that and I said that white has control of the d4 square. c4, bishop c2. Wow, now that's cool. c4, bishop c2, bishop c5. Now that's different. I mean, that bishop, that's a creative response. No, this is original. This is better. This is actually the best line. And no one found that in a single game. Because we're looking for all the standard moves, right? Bishop c7, bishop f8, bishop e5. And the secret is there, this move. Snake Benoni. It's a fun opening. Alright. We got time for maybe 2 games. Was that... I don't think it was 12 CPL. You let me know. Let me know what it was. But right now, we should do this every stream. Morales holds the record for the best game of the day with a 12 CPL. High hand. Like in poker. If only we had prizes, then we'd really have a lot of computer cheaters. Can you imagine if I had a prize for who played the best CPL game every stream? Like, how to attract cheaters. I had a 3. Of course, like, you can't use your like mobile phone. You have to use a reasonable CPU to judge it. Like, sometimes Asterbait analyzes a game with like his Nokia or something, and it comes up with this wacky evaluation. Caro-Kann exchange variation with H3. 45, that's pretty standard. 45 is very standard. You know, everyone from 1800s to world champions has 45 level CPLs. Yeah, I'll do a raid of Tranquilizer if he's still streaming. He raided my stream earlier, so we'll get him back. Get the bishop outside the pawn chain, will you? Caro-Kann. Bishop g6. An option. The other options are bishop takes bishop and e6. E6 is reasonable in some cases. Good idea, Asterbait. I don't mind like raiding someone who's really willing to reciprocate the raids. What I don't like is like raiding people who don't reciprocate, you know, our raids. You to game what? Yeah, but that's your phone. 0 inaccuracy is 45 CPL. That's just your Nokia, like, thinking it's analyzing a chess game. The new Nokias. I had a Nokia till really late. I probably still had one like 10 years ago. It's a classic Caro-Kann exchange variation here. Solid for both sides. Although this knight is typically not placed on c3 in the normal exchange. It's more like a Jabava London. We know how much I love the London. Yeah, it's a secret London. I get this all the time. It's very, very common. But if you want to play the London, then why are you playing e4? You know, you've got to ask that question. If you wanted to play the London, maybe you shouldn't open with e4. Not sure if this is a great move. I have a lot of options here. But structurally, it's a good move. I mean, it's the right idea. To play for a minority attack on the queen side, theoretically. Guys, it's Friday. We have no cheers. What's going on? Did Twitch run out of bits or something? We've got no bit cheers. But it's enough. I appreciate if you guys subscribe. Very, very grateful. Indo Queen 750 rating with a party of 12. And we're going to do a raid in just a few minutes. Actually, I know my chat is probably. I'm glad Indo Queen can say hi, because sometimes the chat is not activated. Now I must stay on. Maybe 5 minutes. So I'm here for another 15 minutes. We're not leaving this minute, but I do have to go in a bit. Thanks for the raid, Indo Queen 1750. Queen d3. So this bishop is really important. You know, it controls b8, and that means I can't back myself up with this rook. So b4 breaks up my structure. I guess I'll just play a6. Thanks for the raid from Indo Queen. Check her stream out. I think we're streaming at usually very different times. I used to stream USA times, but that's long ago. I've been marooned in Europe since COVID, which is going on forever, but I don't know if I'll ever go back. It's alright, either way. Knight e2, classic maneuver. White has placed the queen on d3, so that's oftentimes a good maneuver square for the knight, actually. Now we have a5 as well, so we can just continue with our plan. He had stopped b5, a5 with the knight on c3 and the queen attacking b5, and now I can go a5. Thank you for the raid. We had an earlier raid from Tranquilizer. Now we're going to get him back for raiding me. We're going to do a revenge raid. But I haven't been raided in a while. Things have been quiet around here lately. Sunday Simul is the next stream. It's going to be a tough day here at Simulville because damn. This is some interesting stuff. Let's go for it. I'm not sure it's good, but we'll see. Damn, he did it. So the point is the Capablanca-esque Queen A6. Caposphere maneuver. In the Caro-Kann, he's paralyzed on the diagonal. He wasn't counting on that. He was trying to undermine my knight on e4. Are you trick-or-treating? You're back. Guys, I have time for one more game. How many names of tactics do you know? This is not a tactic, but a maneuver. I'm just saying, in the games of Capablanca, I saw him, you know, he had an affinity for that particular maneuver. Let's be a little careful here. He's attacking f7, but we have knight d2. And that's nice. That's a nice. He wasn't counting on queen a6, but this is also a problem. He's got to watch this, and I'm gonna just take this. He was hoping like he would win control of the c file or something. White is lost here. Objectively. All right, next game. Next game. Laszlo. We played once before. I have forgotten. What was that? What do you think of 97 on move 18 with the idea of f6 and e5? I think that bishops get trapped on e5 sometimes when people play f4 in that opening. But f6 is risky. You know, f6 will weaken my pawn chain at e6, so you have to be very careful. Astrate heard that Sunday would be a thematic simul. I don't know, man. If I survive 25 moves. Again, thank you to Indoqueen and Tranquilizer for the raises today. Raises. What's with me? Raids, whatever. Poker. Whoa, knight f6. Thank you for the raises. And we're gonna raise someone when this game is probably over. I just came. Please play. It depends. This is mainline Nimzovich variation. No begging. This is mainline. Or one of the main lines. The other main line is e6. Actually, that's probably more the main line than taking. But I know they're both played. I'm basically out of book now. It's so rare that I encountered this opening. And I don't play e4 that much. I don't know what you're supposed to do. I would imagine this is slightly better for white. You could trade queens there to be on the safe side. But who wants to be on the safe side? I feel this is the move. I just came to say my next over the board opponent's name is what? 2 a.m. Better be careful, man. They never pay me. Those park hustlers. At 2 a.m. when everyone leaves, they're always like walking out on me. Gotta make them pay after every game. Never forget the rule. Masturbate. They'll never pay. The hustlers. Don't wait until 2 a.m. to collect. In my experience. At Washington Square. And don't let them run up too big of a bill. At least you know his name in case he walks out on you. You can file a small claim suit. Interesting. Speaking of e6 and white square weaknesses, not clear. It's queen c4 d5, queen g4. No, I don't know. I mean, white is clearly better, but winning? Am I winning? Queen b5 check, queen d7. No, I don't really want to trade queens necessarily. I mean, I guess the positional thing to do is this, but it's slow, you know. The problem is this is slow. They gonna know, how would they know? What is that? I'm just gonna get this out of the way, clear the air. Don't even think about putting a knight on d4. That's what I'm saying. So he's pretty good for 1200. Meme. This is solid 1200, and he's fast too. You better start making some blunders soon, mister. I expect many blunders. 1200's better not win the best CPL prize. There we go. Let's get a blunder. It's not exactly a blunder by pure blunder standards. This move might not even be a bad move objectively. It looks like a positional mistake. We'll qualify it as a positional mistake, I guess. Debatable positional decision maybe would be a better description of the move d5. You could even upgrade it to that. And we're like fully gonna have to go to like grind down the solid player mode here. He's definitely not 1200. There's no way. I feel like I say this every game. Now I'm going for the e4 square. He made a small positional mistake, perhaps, but I'm not even sure. Objectively, it was a mistake. The opening was definitely not great for black, but still decent game for anyone like under 2000. It's probably a drawn position, objectively. Queen b5 on move 16 was winning a pawn? I don't think so. He just plays b6. It's not winning anything. Damn. This ain't no 1200. That's for sure. $1,200 going on like 2000. No, 1500 classical. Well, 1500 rapid, you mean? It's 1200 classical, 1500 rapid, and that's in line with 1274 Blitz. 200 points usually. It's a little bit of a high correlation, but rapid's getting really, really overrated. There are a lot of cheaters that are jacking up the rapid ratings. I looked at one 2700 player yesterday. I scrolled through his first like 20 games, and he had like 2 people on his like recent games who got banned. There's just like a crap load of players who are probably cheating and getting banned, who are rated like 25, 26, 2700 in rapid. Dude. We have a tactical move here? It's lucky I have that move, because otherwise I'm in trouble. That's just like fortunate to even have that move. No apparent win. I probably missed a better move there. But I'll take this. Because it's simple and easy to play. Yeah, I mean, there's literally no way you're 1200. I mean, maybe your roommate is like 2000 and you're 1200. I don't know. But yeah, that's not possible for you to be 1200. Dude, I've only been playing on here for 5 years against like tens of thousands of people. I wouldn't know. Approximately how strong people are. He missed a very strong tactic there, e3. So it seems like black, you know, okay, he's very strong, like positionally, but tactically not that strong. This is obviously a bad idea to get his bishop trapped. Yeah, I mean, you played a great game. It's hard to believe you could be 1200. And fast, too. I mean, right up until like move 26, it's probably like black still holding on. If you master tactics, you're like 2200. I would say. This is a crazy blunder. 1200 going on 2200. Just need to eliminate the stupid tactical mistakes. But I mean, seriously, black was probably okay. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the average 1200. But you definitely don't fit the description. Though now it's like, I would resign. But I get it, like people stalemate you and stuff. Alright. So, I mean, if you just want to see, like, probably e3 after even bishop takes h2, black's still alright. I'm wrong. Wow. I have a win there. e3. I'm still winning. If I take this, you have bishop takes g3. And if I take this, you have bishop takes g3. I have a amazing win here. Rook h5. Wow, so bishop h2 is really bad. But you played a very solid game. It looks like realistically you were only lost after e4, which was a very natural move. Bring your king to the center with like king f7, king e6, and black is surviving. Alright, we had a beggar. Beggars can't be choosers. Beggar wants to play. I have to go, but we'll play one last game. I'm really going to be late for my next assignment. I wish I could stream longer. It's a better time to stream. We have more viewers. Mornings aren't so great. Yeah, I think the last opponent of Laszlo, you need to work on tactics because strategically you're kind of decent, you know. I mean, you're definitely not 1200. Just need to, and that's the harder part of the game to improve, I think. It's easy to improve tactics. Anybody can do tactics puzzles. You don't even need to take lessons to improve tactically. A lot of, and don't, you know, and people who like, coaches who like do tactics puzzles with their students, I think, are just scamming people. You can do tactics puzzles at home. I mean, there's really no secret to that. You can improve tactics easily. So CD5. I'm going to do this. But again, you know, most people who play too much Hyperbullet and Blitz and stuff like that are maybe hurting themselves. You should focus on playing more longer games. It's like a addiction. If you're not thinking, you're not making yourself better. I mean, if you're not critically thinking during games, but just like reacting, you're not making yourself a greater player, really. I can castle queenside here. It's a little risky, objectively. Especially after a5. I think I'd rather not do that. Mr. Coffee's in the house. What's up, man? I gotta go. Mr. Coffee, we're gonna raid Tranquilizer, who was kind enough to raid us. Mr. Coffee, if you can, I could ask you a favor. See if there's anything up with Moobot. It's been behaving kind of strangely lately. Yeah. Moobot's been weird. Have you noticed anything? Mr. Coffee is our Moobot caretaker. The Overlook Hotel caretaker. In honor of, I don't know, it seems like it's like getting angry because people use like one cap or something. Maybe it's just my imagination. Got winning position. Position winning. Clunk. And winning the rook. Black's playing too fast. It's move 18. You have 4 minutes left. And you're 1600. I think the biggest thing I notice is that people are afraid to have less time than their opponents. It's not a problem to have less time than your opponent. You know, it just means you're thinking more than they are. I think that's a common psychological stumbling block. They're like, oh no, I have to have more time than the opponent at all times. It's a misconception. It's not important. It doesn't matter, you know, who has more time at the end of the game. It's like who wins. You know, that's what matters. See if anything you can do. Mr. Coffee. Thank you, sir. We only all we do is expect miracles. He's like Mr. Scott. Mr. Coffee always, we try to use the Star Trek references. Never. You mean you told him? You told the captain how fast you could really do it? Are you daft, man? Alright, man. This looks bad. Black's down the piece. Not good. Mayu. I started rewatching Star Trek the original series episodes recently. But that's actually from a Next Generation. I'm a surgeon. We're getting a lot of people who don't like resigning. I understand. It's never fun to resign. Please send me messages in English or Hungarian only. The only two languages I'm rather fluent in. I think I got something in Arabic, which is going to be rather hard for me to read. I guess there's always good old Google Translate. Now it's stalemate. Yeah, take your time and slow down. I might miss the stalemate. I would make 8 rooks normally here, but I have to go. And we have to raid Tranquilizer. Mate! There's another stalemate. Jeez. Dude, just resign. Killing me. Why am I doing knight c5? I'm so tired. Alright, let's go. That was very bad endgame technique. WJ Loof made it in time to donate 100 bits. I have to go. I'm going to raid Tranquilizer. Thank you, WJ. Our first cheer of the week. Thank God we went a week without... I was afraid we were going to go a week without getting a cheer. We've got the Sunday Simul coming up. I'm going to Debrecen on Sunday, and we're going to be a little late, possibly, because I have a tournament game. Sunday Simul normally starts at 6:30. Also, keep in mind, announcement, Hungary and Europe are doing daylight savings time on Sunday. So we're going to be pushing the clocks backward 1 hour here. So if you're in the US, like WJ Loof or Acerbate or Mr. Coffee, we are pushing our clocks back by 1 hour. Just so everybody knows. Glad to be here. Poor timing. Good timing. You made it in time. I'm going to raid Tranquilizer. I got to go to work. Just keep in mind, Mr. Coffee and others, that you're going to be 1 hour misaligned. You're now going to be 5 hours difference rather than 6 regarding my stream. Okay, everybody. We'll see you later. Thank you, WJ Loof, Acerbate, Mr. Coffee, everyone. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys are good. See you Sunday. Bye-bye.